it's interesting because people who have not seen it on stage, but have only read it, will often say, "Wow, it's so dark. It's so dark. I keep hearing it's funny," and it is one of the funniest things I saw the production in New York, and it was one of the funniest shows I have seen in 10 years. It's a laugh out loud. You laugh kind of despite yourself with this humor and with this family, and it is a, you know, it's a pretty deep, eviscerating experience in terms of what happens to this family, but it is all done. I mean, the humor of it just comes through, and who these people are and how absurd the situations they find themselves in and the way they respond to them. It's a wonderfully rich kind of dark kind of humor. You know, it's like a dark chocolate kind of experience. You know, it's got the sweetness and the yumminess, but it's also the richness and the deepness. I said before, and one of the things that most excites me about this play is, you know, in the theater so often, because of economics, what gets written by playwrights these days are small cast 2 or 3 character plays, because those are the kinds of shows that theaters can afford to do. And I was so moved when I saw this play that Tracy Letts had written a large cast play for his theater company, which is Steppenwolf. He's a member of Steppenwolf in Chicago. And I was so moved that he wrote a play for these actors that he knew, that were friends and colleagues of his, and especially actors, you know, not ingenues, actors who were older. And that I found, as much as the play itself, the simple act of actually creating this play, I found very, very powerful. And especially thinking about doing it here at OSF, which is, you know, one of the only companies still left in the country, and doing a play here that was created that way. In many ways, when I first saw this play, that was my first thought: is, my God, it has to be done at OSF, because it's the depth that you get here with the acting company, not just the breadth, but the depth. Kind of the depth of your bench here is extraordinary, and to be able to, you know, think about some of these extraordinary actors here tackling this play was really exciting to me. There's something about it on the page, and the way that it plays, you know, the rhythms of it are he's so great at capturing exactly the rhythms of people who know each other well, and people, familiar relationships, and people who have been raised together but haven't spent a lot of time together, and then are coming back together and refinding their rhythms. And it combines the sort of, you know, beautiful, mundane rhythms and tone of everyday conversation, coupled with, you know, the deeper, more beautifully lyrical stuff. You know, the patriarch of this family is a poet, and there's something about that choice that informs the rest of the play. I think that people find themselves, despite themselves, reaching for those moments of lyricism and poetry in ways that they're unable to express, which I just love. There's also in his writing, you know, it's set in Oklahoma, and it's set on the plains, and that's such an important element to this piece, I think, is that sense of, for those of us, myself being raised on the East Coast, when you go to the plains, that sense of openness and vastness can be both liberating and also terrifying in a way, and I think that that's kind of what he captures in this play, that feel. Everything takes place within this family home, the Westons, this 3-level structure, and outside of it, you know, is that sort of vastness. So there's a wonderful claustrophobia that's juxtaposed against that possibility.